What's up, guys? I'm Luke.
I'm Ainsley.
And we are...
Queenie.
You're all hooded up.
Oh, I am.
Oh. You look like you're like a mage or something like that in like a fantasy game or
I'm cool with that.
Being a mage. You'd like to be amazing.
Amazing, yes.
First things first. I recently went to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yes, you did.
To see one of my favorite bands.
American Aquarium.
Yes, did go see them there. And I went with my friend Adrian. And while we were there...
Adrian, as they all know from Killer Sofa.
The Killer Sofa and Tequila Shots, yes. We ate at a place while we were there called Raleigh Times. And I told him, he said, what would the Scream rating be for this place when we ate there? And I said, I would give it 5 screams. He was like, you won't say that on the show. So I'm saying it right now on the show. Now, we went back a couple of nights later to this place. And I don't know if they're short staff or something, but it wasn't as good. But I told him I would give it 5 screams on the show. So I'm doing it right now before we do anything else. This evening, we had the opportunity, the privilege, if you will, to watch a little movie that recently came out on the old Flicks of Net.
Yep.
It is the 2022 version of the
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's correct. Yes.
It was very short.
Hour and 20 minutes.
See, it didn't even seem that long to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't watch all the way through the credits and everything, so maybe there's a post-credit scene too. We should probably check that out. I mean, we don't get up and leave the theater, obviously. If you're watching a Marvel movie, you know there's like 6 post-credit scenes. Right? I mean, we watched this film, and before you get into the story of the film, I did want to say that this is supposed to be like a direct sequel to the original, like, 1970s Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Which I have not seen, which we just finished discussing.
Yeah. I have seen it. It's been quite a while though, but I have seen it. But I mean, you've seen the remake.
Yeah.
So you can kind of go off of, I mean, you've seen other Texas Chainsaw Massacres, or like sequels and things like that, right? You just haven't.
I remember the Jessica Biel one specifically.
Yeah. And then they made another one like a few years back. I don't know if you remember that one. Like 2010, maybe 2011, something like that.
I don't recall.
Yeah, they made another one. Then of course there for a while they had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I think Matthew McConaughey was actually in one of those.
See, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. I mean, this was a long time ago. But anyways, so direct sequel to the original. So on with the story, my friend.
Well, I mean you kind of have your who you know is going to be. Well, I don't know if they kind of really set up who the final girl would be until later in the film. You knew it would be one of 2.
Okay, but you're getting way ahead of yourself. So what is this?
I always do. The story, okay, it starts out like 4 yuppie kids. I mean, if we were in the 80s, they would be yuppies. They're hipsters. There you go. Hipster kids. 2 of them run a food truck. Yes, moms.
No.
2 of them run a food truck. One of them is the fiance of one of the guys who runs the food truck. The other one is the sister of the girl who runs the food truck. They're going to this ghost town that was originally, I think, the place where the
original Texas Chainsaw Massacre
took place. It's a ghost town now. They're having a lot of investors show up, so a bunch of they have a bunch of hipster people show up, investors on a bus.
Yeah, but I guess so. They owned, like, they bought up the town, right?
They get there, they start going through the buildings. Actually, no, there was a Confederate flag in one of the or hanging off of one of the buildings. They went in trying to remove the flag. Turns out there were people still there.
There was a lady still there.
A woman still there with her son.
Because it was an orphanage, right? Like, that was
that girl called her his mama.
I mean, I guess Leatherface was her son because he was raised at the orphanage, I guess.
Yeah, so he was there. They go in, tell her she needs to leave. It apparently causes some sort of cardiac event for her. The police show up. They try to take her into town. She dies on the way. Leatherface freaks out, starts killing people. And
well, he cuts off his mother's face.
He wears his mother's face, yes. And sets her up all pretty in a field. Hipsters get killed. Final girl gets chosen.
Well,
and driven away in a self-driving car.
Driven away in a self-driving car with her sister.
As she's being beheaded.
Yes, you thought both of them were going to survive, and then it's only one. There can only be one Highlander. That's always the way that it is.
There's only one final girl. That's why they call her the final girl.
Yes, exactly. A lot of really, really gruesome kills in this. Not just gruesome kills, like a lot of body dismemberment even before they're killed.
One guy got his face like slashed through with the chainsaw, just like one side of his face.
Yeah,
so it was just like a gaping wound.
Your mildly hot country guy got like his leg just like...
Yeah.
He became less hot then, I think. Like when his leg was all twisted up, and then he didn't touch his face, I guess, so good for you. I'm going to go ahead and on our screen counter, I think I'm going to give this like 3 screens. I'm going to give it 3. And before I say what I liked or didn't like about it, let me go ahead, because I want to convince you whatever you have to say about what you...
I'd give it 2.5 screens.
I thought about that. But I like gore a lot, so there was some gore in this.
You're more into gore than I am.
I felt most of the people that got killed in it kind of deserved it. The majority of them did.
I wouldn't call being a hipster deserving it. I mean, there's an entire bus full of people who at one time turn on their live videos and said, try anything and you're gonna get canceled.
There were a bunch of
but I mean, it doesn't deserve like... I mean, there is literally one point in the film where he goes on a bus and everybody's trapped and he just starts mowing people down to the point where there's blood covering the floor.
What I'm saying is, I guess, I'm not talking about the massacre scene, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on the bus, right? That's not
a literal massacre.
And you also failed to mention when you were talking about the story that the final girl from the original movie is in this movie.
Oh, yes, and is not the final girl any longer.
Well, obviously, she was too old to be the final girl anymore. She's not Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, come on.
Not having seen the original, I don't really know what kind of character development the final girl had.
From the original.
So I would have liked to have maybe gotten a little more background on her this time around. All they said was that she had become a Texas Ranger.
Well, they did. I mean, they kind of did the little backstory at the beginning of the movie, though. It
was a mini backstory, but I could have... I found her more interesting than probably any of the kids.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something. I mean, it was...
I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it at all. It seemed better.
It was kind of just there, and I don't regret watching it. Obviously, it's on Netflix, so it's, I'll get it with my Netflix subscription or whatever. it's a Netflix original, I think. So, I mean, it was a decent slasher film. I'll put it that way. I think definitely better than the new Halloween. Probably one of the better slashers that I've seen in a few, I would say.
Yeah.
So
it lacked in character development. I will say that.
it did. It seemed. So you feel like it probably could have been like maybe another 15 minutes longer and did a little bit more with the original girl from
the only person that they really delved into like personality or history wise was the younger sister, and all they did was mention that she had been in a school shooting where she had been shot and lost several of her friends.
Yeah, and they kept showing the flashbacks of her laying on the ground while they were...
That made you care. But so I think they could have,
and that kind of made you care about the sisters and their sister,
their bond.
Yeah, of everything in there. I guess those are the three things that you kind of cared about, right?
I just think they could have, like, I don't know, shown more of the characters' personalities and stuff. Like, just have them on screen interacting and stuff before you start killing people off. Maybe made it just a little bit longer.
They certainly didn't waste any time getting to the killing. I would say no, I'm not supposed to check it out. I would say that if you're if you're looking for something to watch on Netflix, you know, how you kind of go, how does she know right where the camera is? If you're looking for something, if you're you know, scrolling and looking for something to look at for on Netflix and you like cat butts, if you like a good slasher film, it won't take up a lot of your time. It's a decent movie. I'd say check it out. I'm Luke.
I'm Ainsley. That's Noms.
And we have been
Screen Queenie.
Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.